What's up guys, Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV, and today we are doing a video that showcases what my new vehicle of choice is. So as you guys have known, and you guys really seem to like that video about why I was actually selling my 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. And as you probably already know, that video will be right there up in the cards. But we also did a video that itemizes to the penny exactly what it cost for me to own that particular vehicle. And in today's video, I am going to show you my brand new ride. So guys, I'm so pumped to show you this particular vehicle. And like I said, I never thought I'd have the opportunity to own something like this ever before. And no, this is not it. Gotcha! It is a 2017 Ford F-150 Raptor. So a lot of you guys that watch those videos very, very closely noticed that I talked about bringing the bed mat from one vehicle to another. And so they had made a mention, and there's quite a few of you guys that actually guessed it right. It is a Raptor. Now this is not just a normal any day Raptor. This is an SCA Performance Raptor. It's a 2017 model that when we traded it in, we were in it right for a couple different reasons. One, because it was nasty on the outside and nasty on the inside. But what we did is we took the vehicle, like I'm not kidding you how nasty it was. It literally had mold on the outside of the paint of the vehicle. Thankfully, with degreaser, with a buffer and wet sanding and a lot of other work, we were able to get the paint out perfectly, which is super exciting for me. The inside still does smell pretty nasty. We're going to get to that in a minute, but most of this is going to be worked out completely. So I'm very, very excited about this. But what makes this an SCA Performance Raptor is we actually sold this truck brand new to the customer. The customer drove it for a little while. He just traded this thing back in for a Mustang. And when I saw it get traded in, I was like, man, that thing is nasty, but if it details out, I might be a player, especially with the trade value on my XLT like it did. Once again, if you haven't had a chance to see that video yet, make sure you click up in that card to watch that particular video. But what SCA Performance did to this truck is they did a couple different things. The first thing you'll notice that they did is they swapped out the factory bumper with a set of Addictive Desert Designs front racing bumpers. Now, I love these bumpers, always have. And one of the things I like about this bumper is that it still is able to retain the adaptive cruise control unit. So spoiler warning, this truck's got adaptive cruise control. I'm gonna go over the other features and options that came with this truck from the factory here in just a second. But normally that adaptive cruise control bracket is located right here in the factory front bumper. Since this is tubular steel, you don't have the ability to put it behind there. So what ADD does is they've got a bracket that relocates that radar sensor up into the grille itself, which I think is pretty stinking cool. And in addition to that, you've got the 360 camera, because once again, this one's got 360 camera on it. It's normally located right here, but since you've got this bar, it would actually block it. So SCA Performance did a good job of relocating that camera sensor, or the camera itself, above the Ford logo inside that front grille. So let's do this. Let's kind of give you a full walk around of the truck, show you what the rest of the truck looks like, and then we'll kind of go from there. But what SCA did, because when this truck came out, the Raptor had just debuted. The 2017 Raptor had just debuted. So they didn't have time to do the Mega Raptor with the lift kits and things like that. So basically all they did was front and rear bumpers. They did the wheels and the tires. So these are SCA Performance branded center caps with a BFG 35-1250, I do believe that it is. Yeah, 35-1250 on an 18-inch wheel, so it's a slightly larger wheel. If I can just be very transparent for a second, I hate these wheels. So hint, hint, something might be coming there. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss any videos. But we have got some massive plans. This truck will not be staying like this for very long at all. So we're obviously going to make a full series following this particular truck. And that's another thing that's exciting to me, is that I kind of get to live my dream, which is this Raptor, I've always wanted to have a Raptor, and I'm finally at the point where I was able to find a truck that made sense financially speaking. And so anyways, we'll cover that in a second. Let's get to the back. Now, one of the things about this particular truck that it did not come with was the rear applique. So most of those Ford Raptors have got that big Ford written across the back in an applique. That's not the case with this one. This one particularly has got just the F-150 logo, it's got the Raptor logo, and it's got the Ford factory emblem in it as well. Got some cool customization coming to the rear of this truck as well. But as you can see, you got the ADD rear bumper as well. Once again, SCA Performance hooked this one up with that as well. But what it's got is, it's got a set of 10-inch rigid LED light bars on either side of the outside of the bumpers. And so as I come over here into the truck, I'm gonna turn those lights on so you can kind of see what that looks like. But those two 10-inch rigid LEDs look fantastic. And as you can see, they are all wired into the actual, what do you call it? The light switches up there by the roof line inside the truck. And so I think it does a great job of being able to see what you need to behind you if you're off-roading or whatever. And by the way, this will not be a pavement princess. Now, this is my daily commute, so I'm not going to be absolutely annihilating the vehicle, but I'm not going to be afraid to take it off-road. We've got some land and some things like that, so we'll kind of show you some series of videos that showcases how this thing performs before and after with the aftermarket parts that we're going to do to the truck, that kind of thing. But that is kind of what SCA did, is the front bumper, the rear bumper, the LED light bars, the LED dually cubes. I didn't mention what those were called, and there you go. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and showcase to you what gave it all away to most of you guys, and that is going to be the bed mat that I stole out of my 17 F-150 XLT. So those of you guys that caught on to that, very keen eye. Well done, guys. That's awesome. But yeah, so this one does not have a spray-in bed liner yet. That is on one of the lists that we may or may not do. I haven't decided just yet, because once again, I don't haul anything that's going to be scuffing up the bed of the truck. I've got a couple plans and a couple of ideas for bed covers and maybe some roof racks and a couple of other different things. I don't want to get into too much into the details of exactly what the plans are. I kind of wanted to show you what it is so that way you can see the baseline of what's going on with this particular truck. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look on the inside of the truck. Since it's an 802A equipment group, you've got the push button start, intelligent access, all that fun stuff. You can see as I hit the button, it's got the panoramic twin panel moonroof. And as you can see, it's got the shade that stops halfway between. Once again, I know this is probably not that exciting to a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys probably own Raptors, but to a guy that has never owned one, I'm pretty stinking stoked. Like I said, I'm just really excited to share this and showcase this with you. And I want to take a second and say thank you to every single one of you guys that watch our videos, because I know this is going to sound so cliche, but without your support watching these videos, and so many of you guys have turned around and bought cars or bought exhaust systems or bought anything at our dealership, I truly want to thank you, because this truck would not be possible without you guys. So I know it sounds cliche, but I truly, truly do mean it. I've had this theory for a long time that if we never worry about money, you just worry about trying to help people, that you'll never have to worry about money. Well, I think this is truly a case of that. But anyway, so looking back at the interior, one of the things I like about this particular vehicle, it does have the air-conditioned seats as well as the heated seats. The only thing that I've complained about the Raptor, and hopefully they'll fix this with the 2022 Raptor, is that the Raptor seats don't have the active contour seats where it's got the air bladders on the inside that inflate and deflate. But I will tell you, the bolstered seats feel really good. I don't slide in and out of the vehicle, and that's even for us big boys too. So it doesn't feel like it's pinching me in the sides, but it does feel like it's holding me where I need to go if I'm going to be doing some spirited driving. These are going to be the switches that I was telling you about just a second ago. These are where these things are actually wired into for the lights. We've got a couple plans for adding a couple of other things that we'll need the switches for. So nonetheless, there you go. Looking at the floor mats, you can see those WeatherTech mats cleaned up really nicely and came over from the XLT very nicely as well. And so let's do this. Let's take a look at the rear of the truck while we are out at it. So as I mentioned to you earlier, I literally took, no, yeah, those are mine. Yeah, thank you. My daughter's sunglasses. I just wanted to prove that those don't fit my head. It's my daughter's, I swear. as you can see, the kids hadn't even gotten into the back yet, but there was some dirt from the prior vehicle. And a lot of you guys have lit up and said, hey, you need to fire your detail guy. Yes, I did in the video say that it was detailed. It was more or less a wash and vac, and he was not paid to do a full detail. He was basically just washing the vehicle for me. I just said the word detail. But anyways, this truck it's been detailed, but I've been in it for quite a few days since making from the time that the detail was done to where I'm actually making this video. But you can see the WeatherTech mats, they fit out really, really nicely as well. And one thing that came in the mail actually today, but I've got a WeatherTech rear seat cover coming that will protect the seats from all of the nastiness that are my kids. So when this is all said and done, I'm gonna have 3 car seats all the way across, but before I put those car seats down, I'll have that WeatherTech one big cover that goes over this back seat, and so that way if they spill something, I don't have to worry about it, because if it comes in here, it'll hit the seat cover. If it comes here, it'll hit the floor mats. I'm good, I'm covered. The only thing is if they get anything on the seat backs, but other than that, I'm really not too concerned about it specifically. But yeah, that's what the inside of the vehicle looks like. I do want to showcase one thing that I didn't mention to you is going to be the miles on the truck. So as you can see, this truck has got extremely low miles on it. For a 17 model, only having 13,842 miles is not too shabby. So as you can see, I've already put, I guess, what is 200 miles. I drove it down to the lake and back. And really, other than that, I haven't driven it much. But yeah, I'm really, really stoked about it. I've got a lot of videos and things planned. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and show the fuel economy. Josh, if you'll take it over to the trip too, you'll see exactly, I was able to get 17.7 miles per gallon. And keep in mind, this vehicle has been sitting here running for this video for probably the better part of 30 minutes or so. So I was actually getting 18 point something miles driving it conservatively down to the lake and back. So not bad for a 3.5 high output EcoBoost motor making 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. So I'm curious if you guys guessed the vehicle, leave that comment down below. We truly want to know what you think. And if you didn't like the truck, leave that down in the comments below as well. Yeah, it's not a Super Duty like so many of you guys guessed. Oh, it's gonna be the truck in the background in that last video. The problem is that truck is bad to the bone. I just can't justify the price, especially since I tow nothing but some kids. So yep, I guess this is gonna have to be the next best thing. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you're feeling like being awesome, make sure to smash that thumbs up button, hit those comments down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss a single video.